All right, we are here on the 3 a.m. Coney with a special edition. Lucas is out tonight, got something better going on in Chicago, so I am here with Danny V, DTV89, the super fan from Bearcats super fan from Twitter, and we're gonna talk Bengals, and a little bit about the Bearcats. Good to have you on.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate you having me on.
Yes, sir. So we'll start. Let's start with the Bengals. Let's
Oh,
let's
Christ.
start down here and then hopefully end a little happier.
I like the
Um,
game plan. I like it.
11 and a half point favorites going into the Jets. People were saying this is a trap game. This is a trap game. You can't look past it. And still, I'm like, it's the Jets. Like, even if they win by one, two, three, like it's not going to be that bad. And then unbelievable how bad they looked that entire game.
No, I agree. I feel like it got off on the wrong foot, and they were able to correct for a little while. But I mean, just those last few minutes, just total bungled. Everything felt like just what we're used to. I feel like for a while lately in this new Burrow era, we were like, all right, maybe this is like, this is a whole new thing here. Maybe we're not
Right.
going to have to deal with, these horrible, like gut wrenching losses. We were slapped right in the face with one yesterday.
And I mean, and that's we have that happen, and we start to feel that hope, and we're like, is this okay? Like, are we allowed? Like, if I hope too hard, is it going to come back and hurt me? Like
Right.
exactly like that Jets game did. And I mean, having that happen on Halloween, I saw a stat that Bengals the last times they've played on Halloween, they've like lost all of them except for one, and they were favored in pretty much all of them.
Wow. I had no
Nightmare.
idea we had a Halloween curse. I mean, I know we have like 100 curses. I
Yeah,
guess just add that one to the list too.
just add that one. Add Halloween
Right.
curse plus the Bengals curse plus
Yeah. The list goes on.
the list goes on. Everything going against us. Joe Burrow, you have a lot to fight against, but I believe that you can do it.
Hell yeah. We'll get there.
Yeah, defense looked bad the entire game. You said you watched the entire game.
Yeah, they were driving me nuts with these little 10-yard passes, and everything was completed. It seemed like I feel like I don't know if we were just in prevent or what, but man, just over and over these little 10-yard little quick slants or quick out and backs, just
Yeah.
anything. I mean, they were just wide open every single time.
Well, I mean, they didn't have any game footage on the elite quarterback Mike White. So he just came in. They had no idea what to expect.
Yeah,
Unbelievable in his first start. He looked great though.
right. He did. He's a USF guy, isn't he? I think.
I can't remember.
I think you. Yeah,
I
I don't know.
remember
He might
seeing
have
his
been one of those.
picture, and I was just like, "Wow, this guy." Okay, all right. I
Yeah.
mean, it's kind of like the Tom Brady picture, like his rookie picture, where he's like super scrawny and like the super white room, and you're like,
Right.
"This guy, like, this is the guy we're losing to right now."
Right. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I would have, I remember seeing the line of 11 and a half or whatever. And I was like, all right, that's a little high, but at least like, I'm still confident. I'm not going to, bet that they're going to cover that or anything. But I would have
They
thought
got
maybe
it.
at
Yeah,
least win
they
by 7 to 10 or something.
Yeah, they got it up to that 11-point lead. I was like, all right, this is better.
Right.
And it was kind of
Yeah.
like the Bearcats, where they're like, I don't know what the hell they're doing in the first half, but then they're like, inching closer to the spread. And
Right,
they're like,
right.
okay, if someone just looked at the final score, they'd be like, yeah, they won handedly.
Right.
But
Yeah.
got to that 11-point lead, and then what? That was the interception, and it seemed like they scored two touchdowns in 50 seconds, and it was
Right.
over.
Right. I mean, I think in game time, it literally was like 2 minutes or something.
Yeah.
It was nuts. Right when that
Absurd.
interception happened, I just remember thinking, like, here we go. Like, here we go. Like,
Absurd.
like I said
But
before,
even,
it was a very like Marvin Lewis era feeling.
yeah, and that hurts. And that hurts. And we want to get past that. We don't want to feel like that anymore. But even after all of that, it looked like they made a stop on third down to get the ball back. You think if you put the ball in Joe Burrow's hands with a minute and change to play, then I mean he was ready. You saw him on the sideline, and we were thinking we could have had the chance to win, but helmet to helmet.
Right.
And I was seeing not just Bengals fans across the league, people complaining about that, because that was one of the most absurd calls I have ever seen.
It really was. I mean, even just watching it live, like the ref threw the flag so fast that I wish he would have like stepped back for just like a half a second and thought about like, okay, it's 3rd and 11. The guy's getting tackled in the backfield.
Yeah.
Right. Just the fact, just even the whole play, like it's 3rd and 11. He's getting tackled in the backfield. You can only throw that flag if you are like 100% certain it was a vicious hit. Because, I mean, you're effectively ending the game with that call.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I mean, games
altering call
games aren't
right
decided.
there.
Right. I mean, games aren't decided on one call, but still, like, that was it when that happened. Like, that was it. So, I don't know. If you're going to throw that flag, man, it better be a vicious hit. You better be 100% sure because you can't even review it. So, it was.
That's the other thing. If you're gonna have these absurd calls in the game, you got to be able to review that. I mean, under 2 minutes, someone somewhere, New York, call in. No, sorry, that's not. Pick up the flag. Like, we're gonna get everyone mad at us. Someone should be looking at these and going, okay, if we're gonna have the officiating crew, if we want people to take us seriously, we cannot allow these kinds of things to alter games. I think the only other play that I saw that was worse than that as kind of like a game-ending play was that the Viking Saints or whatever that was, where he just tackled the guy before the ball even got there, and they went to review and then came back, and they were like, oh, no pass interference there. It's completely fine.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah.
Not even close.
I hadn't even thought of that.
That one was terrible. All right. Anything else about the Jets before we move on? Jets game. We're going to pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on from it.
Yeah, it's over. It didn't even happen. That was last month. Can't even remember it. So they have the Browns coming up next. 4-4 Browns. Bengals are 5-3. Paul Brown Stadium, 1 p.m. We got the over/under set at 47.5. Bengals are 2.5-point favorites. How do you feel going into this game? Confident?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I mean, I don't know. I think with a group of guys that we have, as much as that loss sucked on Sunday, I think that I don't know. I think they've got it in them to rebound, and I think that they're probably frustrated all week. I mean, and they're gonna, extra game plan for this. And also, I mean, I know that the Browns they're supposed to be in this whole new era right now, right, where they're like loading up Baker's the future and all this, and I don't know. I think they're a little stuck right now. I don't know. I'm
still not sold on Baker, to be quite honest.
I mean, even just him. I don't know. I don't know that they are ready to be that playoff team that I think that they thought they would be by now. I mean, they had like their momentum. They won the playoff game and all that, but I don't know. It seems like they're starting to go in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I mean, and they just lost to the Steelers. So that was a game you're thinking the Steelers are going to be, the punching bag at the bottom of the AFC North, and then they're somehow still winning games.
Right. And it was at Cleveland.
Yeah.
I feel like you can't lose that. I mean, and I say that now. Watch, the Bengals will probably drop on it with the Steelers. But
yeah, look at the Bengals. What are the Browns doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that was a pretty telling game. They only dropped 10 points on the Steelers. Like that's not a good look.
Yeah, not great. Let's see here. Yeah, 2.5-point favorites. I think that was closer to 3.5, and it's moving down. So I would expect that the Bengals, after that loss to the Jets, would come out angry and trying to do. Burrow said that they started out flat to start the Jets game, and that's like you could lose to any team in the league if you start out flat like that and let them get points on you. So I would assume they're going to change their game plan and try to score a bunch on the Browns coming up. I had the over/under here. Over is 6-0-1 in the last 7 games, and Bengals are 11-2 against the spread in the last 13 series.
Dang. Interesting.
Browns won both of them last year, didn't they?
I think so. I vividly remember. I think the I think the one at Cleveland was, I think that was like a Sunday night or a primetime one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be
47 and
interesting.
a half. You think that's going to go over again?
I would bet it does. Yeah. I
It still
wouldn't be
seems low.
surprised. Oh,
I mean,
I mean, I
gonna
know
be
that the Browns only scored 10 against the Steelers, but I think they'll
right.
rebound at least a little bit.
Maybe
offensively.
they'll figure out how to score point. The Bengals defense is probably going to be the deciding factor in this game.
Right.
If they look close to what they did against the Jets, it's like I don't think they're going to be able to. I mean, the offense is going to have to score 55 points because if they scored 31 or more than 30, that should be enough to win games, especially when the Bengals defense has been holding people to a lot lower.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see Myles Garrett too. I mean, the last couple of years, I feel like he's just dominated our offensive line. So, if we're supposed to have this revamped O line, which I mean, it's still not like great by any stretch, but it's better. It is.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
I'll be interested.
Slapped a brand new sticker on him, and it's confused some defenses so far. I don't think it's as good as it should be, but I mean, they did a lot more on defense over the offseason, and they're trying to make a full team here instead of just protecting Joe Burrow. So he's gotten hit a lot, and every time he does, I feel my heart go into my stomach, and I'm just like, all right, get up, you're fine, okay. He was down for like 10 seconds or something in that last in the Jets game. That was
I vividly remember that. Yeah, I think we're gonna have PTSD his whole career from his rookie season.
Pretty much, and I think we're feeling it more than he does. He just pops up and he's like, "All right, I'm fine." Like, "Oh, all right, my legs are still intact. I'm great. Okay, next play." And we're looking at him like, "No more. Don't get hit anymore. That's enough."
No kidding.
All right. Yeah, that's hopefully. I mean, that's going to be another tough one. If they lose 2 in a row, Jets, Browns, going into the bye, I mean, they'll still have a winning record, but that's going to be a lot tougher to swallow than 5-2, top of the AFC, and thinking they can win 2 straight games going into the bye.
Right. Yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like, after the Ravens game last week, we really started to kind of adjust our expectations. We're going into this year, 5-3 at this point. I think we'd be, ecstatic with that.
But I mean, we're kind of flip flopping. It's like if we would have lost to the Ravens and then blown the Jets out by 30, I think we would have been happier. Like our expectations would have been more normal. But then beating them,
now we're
beating
like, which team are we
getting? We're like, what the hell?
Right.
You can't do that and then lose to the Jets. Come on.
Right. Oh yeah, I know. I think everyone's just all over the place. You're thinking like playoff run, and now you're like, oh gosh, are we even making the playoffs?
Yeah, after one game, just because of the goddamn Jets, who beat the Titans. So the Jets are, kind of conserving their energy and only beating playoff teams. And they're losing to the shitty teams, and then they're like only beating Titans and Bengals, the top of the AFC.
Welcome to the NFL, I guess.
Absurd. Absolutely absurd. Yeah. All right, well, we'll see how they do against the Browns. Let's switch over to the Bearcats. College game day coming to Clifton. We had talked about this back in the Brian Kelly era. We were hoping that it might happen. I had that streak of I didn't miss a Bearcats home football game for that 5-year span, going from Brian Kelly, and I mean got up into the top 5, and finally we get it for this game. You're going to be going down there?
Yeah. Heck yeah, man. Yeah, I can't believe it's finally. I mean, I shouldn't say I can't believe it's finally happening, because if it's ever gonna happen, it's gonna be this year. I mean, if they couldn't squeeze it in this season, it's just not gonna happen.
I don't know.
At least until
could have been could have been Georgia again for the 10th time if they wanted to.
It's been at least 3, hasn't it?
I think so. It was like back to back, and we're like, oh, all right, yeah. You don't need to go to Georgia anymore. Okay.
Guess what? Georgia's still ranked number 1. Wow, incredible.
Yeah. Oh, Georgia game day. Let's go there every goddamn time. Right. You said you have an appointment or something. You're going to be late.
Yeah, I got to try to figure out a workaround. So yeah, I just had like an eye appointment scheduled for Saturday morning, but if I can get it in, within like the next few weeks, like there's no way that
Yeah, so we're all excited as Bearcats fans. We hear that College Game Day is coming to Clifton, and you're like, shit, checking your calendar.
Like literally, like scheduled it for Saturday at 9 a.m. Like as it's starting, I'm like
9 a.m.
Maybe the Cincinnati curse is not even just for the teams; it's for every fan involved, just with their personal lives.
I can't go, guys. I have an eye exam. Of all the things.
Right. Yeah, no, I'll definitely be down there at some point, and yeah, I'm so excited for all of it. Just see everybody there, and
yeah, I'm excited to just kind of take it all in.
Right.
Just because going to Bearcats games, it's always different. Because we're not on campus anymore and just able to go right there. But it looks completely different. Love being back in that environment. Love Nippert and going to all those games and all that atmosphere. So having College Game Day there, even though hopefully we're going to blow this team out if they play better than they have the last two games. I don't know what we're talking about. We don't know what Bengals team we're getting. We don't know what Bearcats game what team is going to show up. They've had looked amazing during Notre Dame, and then the past 2 weeks they've kind of fizzled where you have everyone going on Twitter and going, this is not a number 2 team in the nation, overrated. They got to do more.
Right. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And what better place to do that than at Nippert? I think this is a game where they come out just totally swinging. And
I would hope so.
I know we've said that the last 2 games, but I think that just being on the road and you go from playing like at Notre Dame in these like hostile environments, and then packed Nippert, Nip at night, and then the UCF game at 3:30 or whatever, and then you go on the road and you play a couple of teams that are one win. It's not full stadiums, and not saying that they weren't giving their best effort or anything, but it's just completely different like feeling just being on the field. So I think coming back home and just their home stadium, packed crowd, a homecoming game day, they're going to be so jacked up, and I think that they're going to get feel a little rejuvenated and just come out swinging.
I hope so. Back at Nippert, homecoming game day, fantastic. Who do you think the celebrity picker is going to be?
I wouldn't be surprised if it were Nick Lachey, just because I know they usually try to go with some kind of celebrity that's just in like entertainment or Hollywood or something like that. I know people have said the Kelsey brothers, which either of them would be.
I would love that.
Be really cool. Yeah, they would be. They'd be fun as hell. They would be. Both of them just extremely goofy dudes, just yelling and just very personable. But I don't know. I feel like former athletes are kind of a rarity with game day. Usually, it's just some kind of someone that doesn't really have to do with sports, and they just have some kind of ties to like the school.
Yeah.
So either him, maybe like George Clooney or something. But
George Clooney.
George
Clooney. I saw Jerry Springer. Was another one. That's absurd. They just turn like, all right, Jerry, who's your pick?
Right. Everyone in the crowd just chanting Jerry.
That would be pretty cool.
That would.
I would definitely be in the crowd chanting Jerry, just loving every second of it.
Oh yeah.
If not awesome. That, maybe like Zach Collaros or like Ben Mock, someone that no one's ever heard of from like 10, 12 years ago, a Bearcats quarterback, or like a hologram of Harambe. That'd be a good one.
That'd be beautiful.
That'd be beautiful. Fiona, you could just have Fiona like dive after 2 balls or something and pick the winner.
Oh, that'd be great.
Absurd.
Yeah, I could see that going a few different ways. I would bet Nick Lachey, though, just because, even though he's kind of like a B-list celebrity, I know they had that, what was it, Love is Blind show that he hosted that was like pretty popular. So I feel like his name is getting a little bit back out there now. He's not just, it's not just 98
degrees.
Right.
It's not just 98 degrees of separation from Cincinnati.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, yeah. You got to let me know if you're down there. I'm gonna try to go down. I don't have a ticket to the game, but I'm gonna try to be able to take in just the game day experience in the morning.
Right. Yeah. Gotta.
Got to do it. Got to do it while they're here. How many games have you gone to this season?
I've only missed one or two. I have season
Okay.
tickets, so
Nice.
yeah, I try to go every game, but every once in a while something comes up.
Nice.
But yeah, hell of a season to have season tickets. I mean,
Yeah,
they're finally upping the prices and getting them to more normal range. But I mean, we've been blessed for the last like 5 years. They've made tickets like alarmingly affordable. You go and look at some of these like blue bloods that are like, $150 a game or whatever, and at UC you get 150, you get the whole season.
Yeah. No, that's been great, and now they're going up to 100, 150 per seat.
Right.
And you're like, okay, well, I guess this is what we get for being the number 2 team in the nation.
Right. Yeah.
We
Gladly pay more if it means we're better.
Number 2 team in the nation prices.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, still 8-0, still winning. We're gonna have the college football playoff rankings coming out this week. Very
Tuesday
interested.
night.
Yeah, very interested to see if the Bearcats are going to be 2, 3, 4. If they're at like 6, I'm going to rage.
Oh yeah, 6. I feel like that's. I mean, you can even make a case for 5. If you wanted to put these like undefeated Power 5s ahead.
Yeah.
Not saying that's what I would pick, but you could at least make a case for it. I feel like you cannot even make a case for 6, because then at that point you've got Ohio State ahead of UC. Mm-hmm. And now, don't get me wrong, OSU can absolutely run the table. They can go 12-1, and they can go up to like number 3 or something like that. But right now, their resume is not that great. Their best win is scraping by against a 5-3 Penn State team at home.
Yep.
They don't have like a great road win or anything yet. That's their only ranked win. They just had their first ranked win, and Penn State's hanging on by a thread being ranked.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Their schedule's just very backloaded. So
yeah,
I mean, they absolutely can. They can get up to the rankings, but right now, I mean, they've only had one really difficult game, and then they lost it. So that's kind of where they stand, at least right now.
Yep, and then that's kind of what Buckeye fans are saying. It's not how they look right now. It's when the Buckeyes, win out, then they'll be above UC. And it's like, okay, well, I mean, you're like, hopefully that happens, but right now we're better. Right now we're ranked higher. Right.
Yeah, I don't even think you can. I don't know. I don't even think you can make a case for them to be ahead of them right now. So if they are ahead of them tomorrow, we definitely riot.
We definitely riot. Everyone get ready in Cincinnati with your pitchforks as soon as that comes out. Yeah, unfortunately, we had SMU lose to Houston, who was there. I guess they're both now ranked in the bottom, or in the top 20s.
20 and 23, I think.
Yeah, but that would have been nice to have that be their first loss for the Bearcats.
Right. Yeah, I honestly, really, the only thing that we can hope for now is both of them stay ranked, and then UC beats SMU, and then for the conference championship, we beat Houston.
Yep.
And then it's a couple more ranked wins instead of just one. So,
I mean, if we run train and we look great through the AAC tournament, like that's hopefully that will set to bolster us in the top 4. And if 5 or 6, I'm gonna riot. If it comes out tomorrow, it's 5 or 6 right now, I'm gonna be pissed because
my personal
right
prediction
now,
I'm going with 4.
Yeah, you think it's gonna be 4?
I think it'll be 4. I don't know exactly who will be below them. I think you can make a case for Michigan State being 5, or even Oklahoma being 5.
Yeah.
But I bet Alabama's ahead just because they're strength of schedule.
Just because it's Alabama. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and that's tough. And Michigan State looked great. And Oklahoma right now, I don't know if they should be ranked higher. But I mean it's close. You could kind of hot swap them and the Bearcats in rankings, and people are like, right, looks right.
Yeah. Oklahoma's a weird one because if you only look at whether or not they won or lost, like their resume is pretty good. I mean, they're 9-0. They've got a neutral against Texas, and it being in their sacred Power 5. And they were a preseason. They're
That's
preseason
10 extra
5,
points
right?
for them right there for being a Power 5.
Right. And then being preseason top 5, they haven't lost yet. So like I get them being high, but if you actually like watch the games and look at how much they're winning by, it's really not impressive.
No.
So that's what to me is going to be interesting for the committee is like if you have Oklahoma ranked really high, it means you don't care how much you win by. At least it should.
And that should help the Bearcats because they've at least looked good in some games, not recently, but they've looked better than Oklahoma in some of their dominant wins.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I said it from the start of the season, and I still believe that if UC goes undefeated, they're going to be in. They will. I think that the only way that they don't is if there is no more chaos for the next month.
Yeah.
And that's like impossible. I mean, come on, a whole month with like 0 upsets.
Yeah, it's college football. Come on.
Right. I someone's going to lose again. You know, either Bama's going to get a second loss, like they'll lose to Georgia, or Oklahoma's finally going to slip up, which, I mean, they've looked shaky. You know, they could very easily.
That's what I'm hoping for. I think that'll happen, and I think they won't be able to just scrape through a win, you know, looking terrible like they have been, and they'll get that loss.
Right. They've got at Baylor, at Oklahoma State, and then the Big 12 championship.
Yep.
So I mean, that's 3 games right there. They could drop any of those. We only need 1. I think if Oklahoma's 11-1 or 12-1 or whatever, I don't think they're making the playoff. So.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I love just being able to talk about this and the Bearcats being in the top 4. I'm fighting right now with Ohio State fans, with them basically mad that the Bearcats are higher, and if the Bearcats get in at the end of the season top 4, Buckeyes are ending up being like 5 or 6. That's going to be, even if the Bearcats lose, that's going to be probably my favorite thing, holding me out the entire offseason until the next year, just because, I mean, it's been our time, and it's great being able to finally be in the conversation and up top.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And if UC and OSU both make the playoffs, if we do end up playing OSU, that's going to be the scariest game of my life. Like I really don't want this historic, incredible, fun season to end losing to them. That would just that'd be tough.
But
if we won
them, that would be so.
Won,
it's here. It's the worst thing ever or the greatest thing ever, and nothing in between.
Gonna have a 150 heart rate that entire game.
Yep. Someone tell me when it's over. I can't fucking watch. I can't watch. All right. Yeah, fantastic. We kept it under 26 minutes. Close enough. We kept talking Bearcats, and I love it. So yeah, that'll do it for us on the 3 a.m. Coney. Thank you, Danny, for coming on and filling in for Lucas. And hopefully we'll have you back on here, and hopefully Bearcats will never lose again and Bengals never lose again.
Sounds good to me. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. See you next time.